Hey family, it's your girl Natural Chocolate here, and I'm coming to you to give you my 1 year update on my 1 year without TV. So the week of Christmas, or the week after Christmas in 2013, I decided to do a year without TV. So when I moved in December and I moved into my new apartment, I decided that I did not want to get my TV hooked up, or my cable, excuse me. And actually I started a little bit prior to that, but I decided not to get it hooked up. Just wanted to see what life would be like 1 year without TV, and I can tell you that I can physically feel the difference. Now, I think I said before in a couple of my updates, and I didn't do like a monthly update, but I wanted to come back since it has been a year. And it was kind of like a stretch goal, but when I got into it, it really wasn't a stretch goal. But wanted to, come back and share with you guys kind of my experience, what it was like to live without TV. I know a lot of people do it. I know it's not a big deal to some people, but some people can't even fathom the idea of living without a TV. So let me give you a little bit of background. Like I said, I think I've done this before in another one of my videos, but if you're new to my channel, welcome to the family, okay? But if you're new to my channel and you haven't seen my other updates on my time without TV, please check those out, but I'll do a mini recap here. So I was not a huge TV watcher to begin with, right? I wasn't the kind of person that at the end of the day would just veg out on TV for hours. That's never really been my personality. I typically was what I call a nighttime TV watcher, which was when I was ready to go to bed, I would turn the TV on to help me kind of relax and unwind, and what I thought was supposed to be for 30 minutes for an hour would turn into like an hour or two every night. So that's 14 hours a week if you're watching an hour or two of TV every night. And so it doesn't sound like a lot, but 14 hours in a week, you add 6 more hours to that, that's a part-time job. And so and I didn't have like shows like some people have their certain shows that they love and they DVR. I really wasn't that kind of person. I did love old reruns. So I loved Living Single. I loved The Different World. I loved The Golden Girls. Those were the things that I was really like drawn to. Two of my favorite TV shows of all time were Different World and Living Single. And so I literally, my free time would be based around when they came on. So if they came on at 6:30 to 7:30, then I would take my free time 6:30 to 7:30 because I didn't have DVR. I wasn't gonna pay for all that. That's just who I am and my personality. So I was like, okay, not that big of a deal. So I love YouTube. I had access to a Netflix account. So I was like, I'm going to see what it's like to go without HGTV and the Food Network and the Cooking Channel and Hallmark and ABC Family and all these other things that I would occasionally like to watch when my reruns were not on. So did a year without TV, and it's funny because I think I told this in another update video. When the guy came to set up my internet, because you normally get an internet cable bundle. When the guy came to set up my internet, he was like, "You're not getting cable?" And I was like, "Mm-mm." He was like, "Well, what are you gonna do?" And I was like, "I don't know, read a book." Read a book, or work on my business, make YouTube videos. There's the internet. There's life to be lived outside of sitting there looking at my smartphone and watching TV all day and DVR and living my life in front of a box. Like, I'd much rather be connected with real people or read a book or connect with people virtually online if I haven't met them in person. So I was like, read a book, start a business, read a magazine, take a nap, work out, cook dinner, spend time with my friends and family, plan my life out, date, whatever. There's so many more things to do in life besides watch TV. And it's not that TV watching is bad, it's just something I wanted to see if I could go without. So that's kind of the jump. And I had so many people like, well, how are you going to keep up on the world's events? Yeah, it's called websites, like news websites, and I've never been a big news watcher anyway. Here's the thing, if something is that catastrophic, it's only a matter, at best it's an hour before I find out about it. Somebody's going to text you or call you, or if you have a conversation with people, they're going to tell you what's going on in the world, and then if you are interested in that subject, you can go and research further and get facts. So I was like, people were acting like the planet was going to stop revolving on its axis because I stopped watching TV. Like, think about that. That's you might want to check yourself before you wreck yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I think I did like a 1 month update or an 8th month update. I don't remember. If you go on my videos, you'll find it if you're interested. But here I am a year later, and so the question now is, am I going to get my cable turned on? Not if you paid me to. When I tell you not if you paid me to, the cable company, Time Warner, could not pay me. DirecTV could not pay me to cut on my cable to watch TV. As a matter of fact, I feel like they owe me a refund check for all the years that I did subscribe to cable and realize how much nonsense was on TV. To me. Okay? So at this point in my life, I'm not saying never, because I don't know, I could have a change of heart. At this point in my life, I could not fathom going to get cable to watch TV. Like, I've gone without it a year. I didn't have to pay for all that. There's plenty of great, original, entertaining, uplifting, educational, good for our gender, race, generation, beliefs, whatever, positive stuff to watch online, in real life, to participate, volunteer, whatever. Like, you couldn't, man, listen, you couldn't pay me unless it was big enough. But that's not even the point, right? You get my point. So let's talk about how I physically feel. I know this sounds crazy, but I physically feel lighter. Like, and I weigh the same, maybe a little bit more physically, but I physically feel lighter. Like my soul, my spirit feels lighter. If you can feel where I'm coming with that. Like, for instance, one of the reasons why I wanted to stop watching TV was not so much for the program. Some of the programming was trash to me, but not all programming is trash, because there are some things that I really did enjoy. Okay, but a lot of it is trash. And if yours isn't trash, if you then I'm not talking to you, so nobody get offended. Okay, this is just me and my perspective. And so, but what I really wanted to get away from was commercials. And like, for instance, you know, when I was younger, I got teased a lot for being a darker skinned woman. I mean, I got teased. It was bad. Maybe one day I'll go into a story about that, but I got teased and what I realized was, like, for instance, ladies, we're talking, right? We wear makeup. So when you go to the store and you see 40 shades of tan but 3 shades of brown, it kind of irritates you a little bit, right? I mean, it's not a big deal. You're not in there like tearing up the racks, but it's kind of like, oh, I can never find my shade, or I got to order mine online, or I got to buy 3 shades before I can find my shade, and I spent all this money, and blah, 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 right? You kind of feel left out, okay? When they make nude products, okay, lipsticks, shoes, undergarments. Shout out to Nubianskin.com, who is now making nude undergarments for people with brown skin, because nude is, what do you look like nude? And if you tell me that nude is beige, that's only a partial truth. So whether it's a nude lipstick, whether it's nude pantyhose, whether it's nude shoes, okay, y'all, side note, if your lips are beige and you're calling it a nude because you put on a beige lipstick, baby, that's not a nude for you, and you look crazy and want nobody to tell you that's not nude for you, you're missing a point. And just because you put on a tan pair of shoes on brown skin does not make it a nude on you. You need to find a brown pair of shoes that gives that seamless nude look, because that's the intent. So you talking about, I'm wearing, you know, this white dress with a nude pair of heels. No, you're wearing a white dress and a beige pair of heels, but I digress. Anyway, so many commercials, particularly when it came to beauty, didn't have a lot of people that looked like me. A lot of the shows didn't have people that I could relate to, and I'm not just talking skin color, but the people who were my skin color, I couldn't relate to their lifestyle. Okay, I'm gonna get off of that. But anyway, and so I was like, just like when I digest food, it's gonna have a positive or a negative effect on my body. that I may not be able to notice until years later or months later or till whatever, right? But it is having a negative effect on my body, whether it be weight gain or cancer or diabetes or high blood pressure or high cholesterol or whatever. It can have a negative effect, or it can have a positive effect. You can slowly start to lose weight, and your blood could be cleaner and your digestive tract could be clean, or whatever the case may be. Just like I digest that and I don't have an immediate reaction to everything, when I digest stuff into my mind, which is a muscle, okay, it's going to have an effect on me. Whether I can feel it or not immediately, it's going to have an effect on me. So I thought about that. I was just like, you have to feed your soul with spiritual things, and you have to digest the word. Whatever I'm digesting is going to have some kind of effect on me. And because I'm not a clinical psychologist, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a mental health professional. And when I say mental health, I'm not just talking about people with special needs. Like, what is the state of your mental health? It's like the state of your physical health or your emotional health or your spiritual health. So I just said to myself, I was like, I wonder if I went on a TV diet, would I notice the difference? Kind of like if I eliminate dairy out of my diet, would I notice the difference? Or some people, if they eliminate red meat or pork out of their diet, would they notice the difference? And I can tell you, just as much as when I've eliminated bread or sugar or dairy or pork out of my diet and I physically could feel the difference, I can physically feel the difference with going a year without TV. So, like I said, I feel lighter. I always thought that I was a confident person, but my confidence has gone through the roof. Not arrogant, but I just feel more assured of me and who I am and what I like and what I'm willing to accept and what I'm not willing to accept. And I just feel more like myself. And I feel like initially I was just taking off these layers and layers and layers of stuff that was put on me that I didn't even know where they came from. So I can physically feel the difference. I can emotionally feel the difference spiritually. I feel like this year I've had a lot of spiritual growth, and I realized that subliminally some of the things that I was watching, although they seemed good and wholesome and all that kind of stuff, really had numbed me in a lot of areas. And I recently saw a movie, American Sniper, which is so not, I don't like watching killing. Anybody that, and not anybody, but a lot of people who have had family members that have been victims of violent crimes, like you shooting up people or stabbing people or killing people, like that's not entertaining to me. And so I went to watch it, and it was so harsh on my senses that I almost couldn't take it. And what I realized was, while I've always been sensitive to that kind of stuff, that after a year with no TV, it was so harsh on my senses that it almost made me want to cry. Like, even though it's not real, right? The brain doesn't know the difference. It's taking in the pictures, okay? The brain doesn't know the difference, okay? It's been scientifically proven, look it up, that the brain doesn't know the difference. And so I realized, I was like, wow, I had been becoming desensitized to relationships, life, things of that nature. And some people say I'm taking it too deep, and that's cool. That's why I did it for me. That's why I would never say that it's wrong or bad. I will say that it doesn't work for me. So it was really harsh on my senses, and I realized that my compassion for human life, which I always thought was fully functional and intact, had been slightly, and I wasn't even a person that watched shows that had killing and murder and let's figure out how they did it or how they got away with it or what was on the crime scene and what. I was never that person, and I still was slightly desensitized. Okay, and I even took it so serious that I don't even like to watch the commercials that come on YouTube. If I can mute it and then skip it, I will do that. I don't want to see the images, whether it's a beauty image, because you're sending me a message that if I see the same woman on there 40 times and she never looks like me, my mind is going to go, oh, that must be what beauty, that must be what youth looks like, and I'm going to try to alter myself subconsciously without even knowing it to look like that. For instance, let me ask you guys a question, and I have been guilty of this. If you are of African American descent, or if you're of African descent, right, why do you contour your nose? Think about it. I'll wait. You contour your nose because it makes the nose look thinner, right? That's what most beauty channels will say, most beauty gurus will say on the YouTube, on makeup artists. You contour the nose to make the nose look thinner, right? My question is, why do you want your nose to look thinner? Because somewhere someone has said a thinner nose is a beautiful nose or a more attractive nose. And here's the thing, if your nose is naturally thin, that's fine, that's beautiful. But if your nose is not, trying to make it thin, why won't you make, let me ask you this, do you see anyone trying to make their nose look bigger? Right, they don't. That is a trait that is usually associated with people of African descent, wider noses. Okay, so that means somewhere throughout history, someone or a group of people or a lot of people have universally decided that a thinner nose is more attractive. And so here we are, without we don't even think about it. Why are we trying to make our nose look thinner if your nose is wide? My nose is wide. When I smile, it gets wider. Why is that not considered as beautiful as a thin nose? Yeah, nobody's going to say, oh, your nose is ugly. I mean, if they do, have a seat. It's my nose, so why is it bothering you, right? But what I'm saying is there's more than one version of beautiful, but we don't even think about it. We contour our nose to make it look thinner, but why? Nobody ever is like, let me highlight my nose this way to make it look wider. So anyway, I just thought I'd throw that in there because that's been the new thing. The nose contouring thing has really been on me, and because sometimes people contour their nose so much I don't even recognize them, and then they're trying to take a distinctly African feature and make it not an African feature. I'll say that. So anyway, that's my 1 year update with no TV. If you guys have ever gone an extended period of time without TV or social media, or which for my business I have not done a social media detox, but I am not on there as much as I used to, or let me say this, I don't post as much as I used to, and I try to make sure that when I'm with people I'm not on social media. Let me tell you, my friend, she had a birthday party one year, and it was so heartbreaking to see about 15 people all at the restaurant doing this. Nobody was talking to each other, and I felt so bad. And so I was just sitting there with my phone in my purse, because if I'm with you, I want to be connected to you and whatever. I hate it when people invite me out and the whole time they on their phone. Like, don't invite me out if you're on the phone the whole time, or if we're supposed to be sitting together having fun, having conversation, why be on your phone the whole time? Like, you're missing out on the experience. Like, that stuff will be there. It never goes away. And you know, I'm thankful that I have people in my life right now that don't do that a whole lot, because I think they know me, because I'd be like, take me home, or you know, or I'm about to go, or I'll see y'all later, or y'all can get out. No, I want people to put people out. So I digress. I don't went off on a tangent. I'm very passionate about it. For me in my life, I'm doing what works for me, and I think that was the beauty of this whole experiment, was I am so much more of who I am because I am controlling the images and the thoughts and the words that come into my life. So I'm controlling what I ingest, what I digest. So let me know your thoughts. Tell me in the comments below, like I said, if you've ever done like a TV detox or a social media detox or a music detox or or anything where you've abstained from external influences for a period of time, and tell me, could you feel the difference? Was it difficult? Was it not? I would tell you, for me, this wasn't very difficult. Did I watch TV a couple of times throughout the year? Yeah, absolutely. If I was at a friend's house or something like that, they had the TV on, I wasn't all super like, no, you have on the TV, because you don't want to be obnoxious with it. If you at your house and your TV is on, I'm not gonna be like, I'm not watching TV, can you turn it off? I'm not gonna do that, because you don't want to superimpose what you're doing onto other people. You can share it, but don't be trying to force feed it down people's throats. So anyway, that's it for my update. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest at Chef Evelyn. You can always check out my cooking channel over at Chef Evelyn TV, and you can always join the Inside Dish at ChefEvelyn.com to see what's going on with me in all things culinary. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Happy New Year. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.